Your fastmcp server's entry point shouldn't be a guessing game. Yet without clear configuration, that's exactly what it becomes. We'll define exactly where your server code lives and how to load it, using the source section in fastmcp.json to eliminate ambiguity. You'll see how to specify the Python file path and entrypoint name, ensuring fastmcp always finds and runs the right server instance.
Source. Type, file system. Path, src/server pi. Entrypoint, MCP.
This demonstrates the declarative configuration pattern for server management. Instead of imperative command line arguments or environment-specific scripts, you define your server's source, environment, and deployment requirements in a single structured file. The distinctive aspect is treating infrastructure as code, where the configuration file becomes the authoritative source of truth for how your server should run. The pattern works by separating concerns into 3 logical layers, where the code lives, what dependencies it needs, and how it should execute. This creates a clean boundary between build time setup and runtime behavior, allowing the framework to handle environment provisioning automatically while keeping your application code portable. The declarative approach enables consistent execution across development, testing, and production environments without modifying the underlying code. This approach solves the problem of environment drift and deployment complexity. By codifying all server requirements in a version-controlled file, you eliminate the works on my machine problem and enable reproducible deployments. It's particularly valuable for team-based development, CI/CD pipelines, and cloud deployments where environment consistency is critical. The trade-off is initial setup complexity, but the long-term benefits in maintainability and reliability outweigh this cost. Let's break it down line by line.
Source.
This opens the configuration object for the fastmcp server source. It defines where and how the server loads its entry point, specifying both the file system location and the initial function to execute.
Type, file system.
Specifies the source type as a file system path. This tells the MCP server to load the module directly from disk rather than from a package or remote source, required for local development and testing.
Path, src/server pi.
Specifies the file system path to the server implementation. This points to the Python module containing your MCP tool definitions, required for fastmcp to locate and load the server code during execution.
Entrypoint, MCP.
Specifies the executable entry point for this configuration. When fastmcp starts, it runs the MCP function from server, pi, treating it as the root command handler. This follows the standard pattern where the entrypoint key defines which function initializes and controls the application lifecycle. This closing brace terminates the JSON configuration block for the fastmcp source definition. It finalizes the file system source setup, ensuring the path and entrypoint are properly contained within the source object. File system source pattern. The file system source configuration lets you load fastmcp servers directly from local Python files, using simple path and entrypoint declarations to bridge between static code and dynamic execution. The entrypoint must resolve to either a server instance or a no-arg factory function, never a class constructor requiring initialization. This pattern maintains development simplicity while enabling production-grade server deployment from the same codebase.
The configuration that points nowhere becomes the source of everything.